beautiful faces! Welcome to Session 6 of the Gilded Shadows, our Urban Shadows campaign. Urban Shadows being a powered by the apocalypse system in which the whole point of the game is to leverage debts against your fellow players, against NPCs, in order to further and progress your own agendas in this city. And this city, of course, being the city of Los Angeles, California, in the year 2050. And I'm so excited. We have a full cast again today. It's very exciting. Glad you all are back and are alive. Some more than others. But it is wonderful to be here, and some themes for this episode tonight that you can expect to while viewing are themes of mind control and autonomy over oneself, emotional manipulation, and kidnapping, and also graphic violence, very likely, and potentially gun violence. So those are our themes that you are, good for handling this evening. Then I suggest tuning in with us next week, or checking out a different stream that's a little bit more gentle and mellow. But tonight we are action packed because holy shit, stuff is going down. But yes, I think that is everything. Hi, what's up? Hello, I'm Sage, and I will be your storyteller / MC this evening.
Hi all, my name is Becca, aka Latina Geek, and I will be playing your chaotic fairy Sav.
Hi everybody, I'm JB, and tonight I am playing your immortal Hector, Dominic Curio.
Hello, my name is Jen Vaughn, and I will be playing the vessel, Viv Idley, an aging pop star made in the meta lab, who's happy to be back, or I'm happy to be back. She's back. I don't know how she feels, actually. You'll see soon. Your turn, Jess.
I'm Jess, they, them, and I'm playing the Oracle Iskaraini, but who goes by Izzy because, obviously, and her pronouns are she, her.
And it's my turn now. Hi, everyone. I'm Noir. I'm playing, oh my God, Uriel, our angel who's just doing the best he can. I'm excited for angel parkour. We'll see that a little bit later.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Paul, and I will be playing Eli, your SoCal Point Break meets Constantine scholar of the arcane and magic item dealer.
Beautiful. Well, we did our rumors last session, so we will dive in this session with a recap. So for our 3 players who weren't here last time, for our lovely audience, go ahead and give me that sweet, sweet recap, y'all.
Specifically, 3 of you.
3 of
You know what? I can do it.
Called out. Well, let's see. There was. Where did we start last time?
Hector was throwing a gala. The
There you
gala
go.
was unraveling at Hector's fingertips because, for some reason, Viv and Izzy stood him up. So he had to scramble to try and fill in the roles, not only of entertainment at the gala that night, but of someone to gather information about his target, the current mayoral candidate. After some struggling back and forth, Hector managed to have one of his oldest contacts in the city, a specter from 1920, fill the role of Izzy, and hired an orchestra and town artists to fill the role of Viv. So after he got the skinny on the mayoral candidate, Hector has found himself at odds with where to put his attention in the city between a massive explosion that happened several miles away and consumed 3 city blocks, and his missing companions and where they might be because they owe him. While Hector was dealing with the crisis at the gala and his promises to the vampire who has kind of roadblocked him from changing his identity, which is very necessary now, our friends Zev and Eli set off to try and track down not only information about who and what is sticking their nose into our businesses, but where Izzy and Viv might have went off to. Figuring out that they were missing and having some lead as to where, our good friend Uriel took off to go and locate the two with his immeasurable celestial powers. But Zev and Eli weren't really dissuaded from trying to track that down, even when Hector was in need of a little bit of help. The two of them wanted to focus on our missing companions, and to that end, they ran across a vampire who said that Juniper, wait, it wasn't a vampire, it was a fae.
No, it was the Fae. It was the Court
Yes.
of Roaches.
Court of Roaches
That
fae.
they
who said-
pulled they made us pull off the highway at that point, and we're like, hey, we need to talk to you about shit. And yeah, Juniper turned up completely drained of blood, and it was just his head, if I recall correctly, in a box. Or was maybe they were fully dismembered and then
was his
packed
body.
neatly into the box?
It was his entire
Yeah.
body, in his
Yeah.
exsanguinated, limp body in the box.
Mm-hmm. And we were like, that really sucks. We're kind of in the middle of something right now. Can we circle back to that at a later point? And they weren't particularly happy about that. But then the explosion happened, and they were like, we've got things to deal with. And we were like, yeah, you do. All right, we'll talk to you in a bit. And then we carried on trying to track down Izzy and Viv. And we wound up tracking them to a house. And then there was a trail of breadcrumbs being left for us, bits of Viv's costume and things like that.
Was a warehouse. We got into the elevator, somehow managed to use the key card from the previous officer to get up to the correct floor. Came up to the door, and there was a gun cock. I believe.
Yes, you all had discovered a false wall behind which, as you began to pass through the illusion, you heard about a dozen sets of heavy-booted footsteps and the cocking of guns coming just down the hallway. And that was where we left off, and where we will be picking up is a little bit back in time to Dear Izzy. Izzy, you had just departed ways with Viv after receiving a phone call from Victoria. Victoria, who had suggested, hey, why don't one of you go and talk to Joseph and get the information that he's willing to part with, while the other one of you heads to his house and pick up what I left, the set of divination tools that she had left at his house and wanted retrieved. And so Izzy, you had dropped off Viv at JPL and made your way to Joseph's house, which was not too far away from the laboratories themselves. And, as you pull up, it is this beautiful, sort of sage green house with these, paneling in this historic neighborhood, in this very beautiful, quiet, and lovely neighborhood. And everything seemed to be quiet. A couple houses down, you had seen kids playing. And how is it that Izzy would seek to get inside to a house?
First she would just straight up knock and see if anyone is there and see if she can talk her way in.
Nice. So yeah, as you go through and you kind of can circumnavigate the house a bit, and you can tell that there is no one inside. As you give a gentle rapping, there is no one answers. It seems all quiet inside.
In that case, definitely just gonna go around the back somewhere where it's not super obvious, since there are kids playing on the street a little ways down, and break in.
Yeah, so you're able to easily head to the back, and where you can see the back door, and yeah, able to get the back door open, which leads into this kitchen. And Victoria had described an ivory box with her initials on them, VDM, and so as you begin scouring this house. While you are tasked with looking for these, is there anything else that you want to be on the lookout for? Anything else that you'd like to do while you're here?
Yes. Didn't we also want to talk to this person about something else?
Yeah, so that is where Viv currently is because he has all of the information about being a material engineer about what these wax cylinders are apparently made out of.
Yeah, so I guess while looking for the divination tools, Izzy just also wants to keep an eye out for anything suspicious, anything that stands out that might be related to like what Viv is going to talk to him about right now.
Mm-hmm. And so as you're going through the house, room by room, this is a very large house. It's about 3-4 bedrooms, easily at least 3,000 square feet, big backyard. This and everything is impeccably kept. Though looking around, you can tell that it's just one man who lives here. There's not a lot of personal touches. Everything is mostly functional. You definitely get the sense that it's just this single scientist man who is living in this house. As you head upstairs and keep searching, you stumble to an office, and you can see that this is a room that is full of esoteric like artifacts and implements, things that are used in magic rituals. You can see that there's an altar with candles that are, the cold wax drip down the side. You can see that there are anathemas and lace and everything. That's all these, ritualistic implements. So he's clearly some sort of practitioner. And within this room, you see that there is a large desk which has a ton of drawers in it.
I would like to use psychometry on the desk just to get a feel for like what's going on there and if I'm gonna like spring some sort of trap by trying to dig through it.
For sure. So for your psychometry, yeah, go ahead and roll with spirit.
Ooh. Oh, nice. That was very good. So I got an 11 total.
Hell yeah! You get to ask 3 of those questions.
So I guess definitely like what bans, wards, or limits are attached to the desk. What secrets or mysteries has it been privy to? And I guess the history of the object of the desk.
Definitely. So as you're tracing your hands over the corners and the edges of this desk, and you get this almost sort of electric buzz as your fingertips grace it, and you feel your cowrie shells like sort of begin to vibrate along with the same resonance. And you feel that this desk has known a long history. This is easily a couple hundred years old. This has been traced down through a lineage of magicians. So it has seen a lot of rituals. It has seen a lot of magic that has soaked up into the oak wood that comprises it. And so of the wards that are attached to it, you know that there are 3 drawers along the top that, if opened without saying a particular phrase, something bad will trigger. But the rest of the drawers all feel unlocked and open. And then what secrets or mysteries this object has been privy to, as your fingers sort of can like touch over the handles on the front of the drawers, you can tell that this desk has seen a lot of heartache. It has been around a lot of darkness. It's seen a lot of sacrifice and blood that has sort of been both psychically and physically been soaked into this desk. It has been around some dark things, some exploitation in the past. Yeah.
I'm gonna steal this desk. Not like right this second, but I'm definitely gonna be coming back to this desk. I definitely want to get into those trapped drawers. Is there a way for me to try to figure out what the passphrase is to open the drawer safely?
I would say give me a let it out. So roll a spirit. I would say you can be able to extend your senses to reach further into the mysteries and the secrets this desk is trying to offer you.
Didn't quite work. That was only a 5.
Oh, no. And so what does this look like as you try to like probe deeper into the mysteries of the wood contained, but you get blocked?
I think she's sort of like now cradling her cowrie shells, getting ready to cast them to see how they can like communicate this with her.
Mm-hmm.
And instead, like when she casts them, it's more like just like dropping them. Like they don't like land with the power they normally do. They just sort of like plop down and like, cool. So just nothing, I guess. Great.
As they sort of like, just plop down sort of meaninglessly, and you feel this almost sort of like block in your psychic energy, as if the desk itself has projected something from you accessing this from these memories. But would you like to start opening some up?
Yeah, let's be irresponsible.
Do you want to go for a trapped one or a regular one?
First what I'd like to do is find like a coat hanger, maybe any sort of thing that I can use to like try to like open it from a distance.
For
So
sure.
at least I'm not touching it. But definitely gonna go for the trapped ones. Like just gonna go full irresponsibility here. Just gonna go all in, hoping that Viv has like suitably distracted Joseph, so he's not just gonna like immediately rush home, and I'll have time to just like yank these drawers open and hope for the best.
Amazing. So yeah, you can go through a couple other rooms. Eventually you find some dry cleaner bags, which they always have those wire hangers that you can just rip apart and shape to whatever shape that you need. And you can latch a few of them together and get across the room and start pulling out the handle from some distance.
I do take the time to like shape the head into, those little like dinosaur head grabbers where you like I shape the head into like a little dinosaur head, so it's like gonna bite the drawer handle open. Yeah. I have time for that, if nothing else.
Perfect. So you take the dinosaur head grabber onto the handle and begin to pull, and you feel almost a sort of sigh release from the desk. This sort of yawn emits from the drawers, and now pounding down the street, and you hear downstairs through the front door. You hear it slam open. Viv, we see you. The camera cuts to you at the bottom of the staircase, busting open through this red door in this greenhouse, and you are fighting so hard to grasp control of your mind. You have managed to leave a bit of a breadcrumb trail here, but you know that Meta has started to take advantage of the fact that you are, for all intents and purposes, their property, and they don't like how you have acted recently, and so they are tasking you with capturing Izzy.
Viv's breadcrumbs, for anyone wondering, were parts of her disco ball type dress. So small pieces of metalloid fabric that have not a silver disco ball, of course, a rainbow one. This is 2050 something. So she's slowly, though, revealing more of her body through the dress, of course, because everyone wants it and everyone knows it. But yeah, she is back to the mental part of this game, though. Yeah, she's trying to control her movements, and she's like the dance move and come for me, summer. No, and like sort of like again, like she looks like she's glitching probably from far away. And let's see, is there yeah, I guess she can't direct at a target because it's literally within her. So so she's at the base of the stairs. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, whenever you have a moment where you want to try and wrestle control, you can give me a roll with spirit to give, like, to try and, wrest it away for a moment before, and see how well you do will determine how long you have control for.
All right. I got a 7 with my +1 in spirit. Everybody.
So that is a hit. So you have just a minute of control where you are fully cognizant, fully present in your body. But it is that you feel that timer going as you're able to push this digital interference out of your mind temporarily.
Mm-hmm. A digital get down, if you will, up in the brain space.
Indeed.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Izzy, are you here? Izzy, watch out for me. It's so vague. I know.
Viv, I thought you were going to talk to the guy.
I did, but something's happening internally. I think. And then she just like sort of like her face resets and she's just like, Izzy, I've come to help you.
Oh, I don't like that.
You don't like my dress? Izzy, I can change into something else if you think it clashes with your... What does he... Wait, what is she looking Sneaking clothes, probably.
I don't think Izzy would have changed ahead of time, since right now, like, the plan is still to, like, break into this house and immediately go to Hector's party.
Mm-hmm.
So she's in her, like, formal scarves.
No, okay.
Because that's her like typical clothes, is just like lots of like loose flowy clothes and like lots of scarves and things, just kind of like everywhere. So yeah, she's got her formal scarves on.
Formal scarves. Great. No,
And
I think we look perfect together. Here, why don't we come closer for a selfie?
No.
Come closer for a selfie.
Why don't you just tell me what's going on with you, and I'll tell you what I learned, and we can compare notes very calmly.
Nothing's wrong. Other than the fact that I am late for a performance at Hector's, and I hate to be late. You know, I always like my green room time, and Hector has a lovely green room. So if there's any way we could speed this up, then we can be on our way, and then you can be enjoying the sound of my dulcet tones while you're nibbling on canapes and other fine victuals.
I feel like Viv would never describe her singing as dulcet tones.
And Izzy, after you've used your dinosaur wire hanger contraption to open up this drawer, you see inside very center of the drawer, you see this white ivory box with the VDM inscribed in gold on top, and you recognize it to be as Victoria's description.
Okay, Viv, how about this? If you grab that for me, I'll go with you right now.
Grab what? And so Viv is like stomping up the stairs, unviv like possibly, like, and looks doesn't push you out of the way, but sort of pushes your scarves out of the way. Izzy, and what am I picking up in here?
Just that box. If you could just hold on to that for me.
Okay. Viv's hand close up on it as it reaches down many like second and first digit rings too, the kind that always fall off, except for her. And she like reaches in to grab the box.
Viv, as you touch it, you can feel with your digital perception that you sort of inherently have. This has spying implements on it. It is recording. It is recording both video and audio, and you believe it has the capability of like some drone capabilities that you believe that you could interface with.
Ooh. Yes. Viv picks it up. Thank you for not making me even roll machinist for this. And she's like, "Oh, is this a gift from me? Izzy? You didn't have to draw me out into some rather hideous-looking apartment with some sort of tainted-looking desk."
It's something that I want you to hold on to because it's gonna be. Listen, this box is, and Izzy kind of gets like a faraway look in her eyes, kind of like glazed, like this box is going to change your life. When the moon rises and you feel your breath stutter, you will know it's time. This is Izzy giving a fake prophecy.
Ah.
Okay, but I assume, Viv cannot tell the difference, so she's, her eyes, like, you see the pupils sort of, like, look like they're focusing the aperture, for some reason, and, like, a little red light goes off somewhere as you're talking. Mm-hmm. Excellent.
Yeah, so it's really
Thank
important
you.
that you hold on to this and be very careful with it until, like, you need to be very careful with it because when the moment comes, you will need this.
All right, thank you. Viv turns around away from Izzy and puts the box inside of her mouth and swallows it inside of her body, where she has again the stomach chamber with nothing else. So, and then turns back around, rather ominously darkening whatever light there is in there, and goes, "And now it's your turn." And she puts like one hand around Izzy's wrist. Feels very much like a band of steel.
Yeah, I said that I would go with you in your like super not suspicious deal here. So I guess let's go see what's up with your thing now.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Really, just truly delighted to see what this is going to turn into for me.
Oh, amazing! And it's about at this point when Izzy gets a call from Zev, and you all have this quick exchange as suddenly Viv is yanking Izzy down the street into a black armored, fully tinted window SUV, which begins peeling down the street. Zev gives the order to Uriel to with the orders of where they're vaguely located and go and check this out. So Uriel, we see you take off.
Okay. It's just hauling ass into that direction. Kind of nonchalant. Like if somebody could be chill offline, Uriel's pretty chill offline so far. It's just, maybe hands in the pocket.
And so, Uriel, you arrive to a scene with an empty house, doors flung open, and you can just make out tire screech marks of where this a large car has just gone tearing down the streets. Seeing no physical sign of Izzy or Viv. But you see a crushed little droned bird under on the street, and you get the sense of the direction of where they have headed off to.
Oh, I'm so sorry, little fella. And I'm just gonna pick up the bird and unleash to do a miracle. Real quick.
I mean, it's a little robot bird, but yeah.
Yeah. It just fixes
Whoa, Sage. Robots need miracles too.
it.
True.
Praise the Omnissiah.
I'm just really quickly gonna do that there miracle. I have to roll, I believe, for my miracle.
I mean, you could whole ass make it a real bird.
It's true.
You're right. So I have to roll with spirit.
Pinocchio, that shit.
I'm a real bird.
Boxcars.
Of course.
Beat me to it. beat you to it. Or Pinocchio.
Amazing.
You know what? I'm gonna keep the joke going. I'm gonna say it's a real bird now.
Nice. Amazing. So this little this little sparrow just chirps and flaps its wings and looks at you gratefully and flutters away.
Wait, do you know where my friends went?
It heads off in the direction of that car.
I'm gonna me and that bird be flying after the car.
Heck yes. Uriel hot in pursuit. Eli and Zev, we see them as they were dealing with trying to track down the location of Izzy and Zev, pulling up not but a bit later, and then following after the path of Uriel after Izzy and Viv. And so Hector, a little bit further in time, it's the end of the gala. It has been a wild success. You've cashed in all of these favors and everything in order to make this happen. You have received a very important tidbit of information. What is the scene that we come to after everything is finished and done and taken care of? Everyone's packed up for the night.
I think that Hector is saying the last goodbyes to the few people that he had to cash in chits with to get them to come and cover this fucking party. And finally, paying off the last little bits of everything that he owes to the various artists, because anyone who did not sell a painting at the gala, Hector bought it himself just to cover their costs and hopefully give them a little start in the city. Maybe it'll buy him some good karma later on. But now he's faced with this opportunity. Does he go after Viv and Izzy almost entirely out of spite and for the slight of it? Or does he go and investigate the 3 city blocks that are now missing in Skid Row? Having learned that the mayoral candidate actually had vested interests in the destruction of Skid Row, I think that that's what Hector is going to do. I think he's going to go out to his car, get in with Montgomery, and say, Skid Row, my boy, we have something we need to see for ourselves.
As Hector heads back to the 2051 Rolls Royce with Montgomery dutifully sitting in the front seat, there's actually someone waiting for you by your car. You recognize this woman as none other than Miranda Cartwright, the lawyer who you have entrapped in your schemes after she had run you over and believed to have killed you. And so, the person you need to make sure that your new identity is forged.
Well, I'll be. You are alive and well, aren't you, darling?
And she looks just tired, fatigued. She's wearing, a basic gray hoodie and sweatpants. And she sort of brushes her messy locks of hair out of her face. And she says, well, I would have gone to meet you inside for the party, but, I wasn't exactly dressed for it, as she gestures to her sweats. But I have been doing a lot of thinking, and I wanted to give you this, as she produces from her pocket this, plain white envelope sealed shut with Hector's name neatly written in block printing. And I guess, we're in the make amends stage with people who we've wronged in the past, so she kind of shrugs and presents it to you.
He pinches the note between pointer and thumb fingers and takes it from her, and then his other hand takes the back of her hand and says, is there any way that I could convince you to accompany me on a short drive to Skid Row?
And she looks a little comforted by the gesture, and she says, Sure, I mean, I've got nothing else better going on, and you are, after all, my number one client, so she kind of smiles and laughs.
It is an elite club at this stage. And I think, just for convenience's sake, I'll read the note and have gentle and comforting conversation with Miranda. Part of me wants to dig out her eyeballs and throw her out of the moving car for the amount of trouble she has given me. But I think that instead we're going to play it nice, because there's enough of my undying rage for other people at this point, and I can't just start killing all of my problems. So I'm going to try and comfort her and let her understand that it's okay to have problems, but I will completely ruin her if she does not stop fucking around and start doing the work I hired her to do.
And she definitely takes it all in turn. She is completely silent the whole time. She just kind of moves and shifts uncomfortably, knowing full well that she is in the wrong. And you can see that she is doing her best to take it in stride. And she just sort of nods at everything you say and just is gritting her teeth and bearing this as best she can. And you all arrive to Skid Row some time later, about an hour, and you can see that the fire department probably came and left. You can see that there is just, the 3 block radius of buildings completely leveled in ruins. You can see the jagged barbs of concrete and steel barb jutting out, and you just see dozens of people looking lost and dazed, handing out blankets and foods and rations, and you see people trying to help people to other warehouses, other abandoned buildings to sleep for the evening. You see, groups of people trying to pull together. And because you know that Skid Row, for as dilapidated and as forgotten as it is a very incredibly strong community, because it's a community of misfits, people who have been left discarded to this singular portion of the city by everyone else. And so they do what they do best, and that's kind of band together.
So I think that when I'm here, I will push Miranda on to go and converse with like the Red Cross or the Coast Guard, whoever the hell comes to help people at this point. Be like, find out what we can find out, and just kind of shove her away. But I think and am suspicious of this place as not being quite the disaster zone it's meant to be, considering it seems to be so controlled in this 3-block square. So is there any way that I can poke around and try and find out if there was any magical happenings, or if this was technological? Does this seem like it has the keynotes of a faction tied to it?
Yeah, I would definitely say, and especially having heard from Zev about the fake connection, about this being centered around the Court of Roaches, go ahead and investigate a place of power for me, with, let's say, Wild.
Okay, so that's the faction that owns it. So if we're saying Wild, that does tell me a little bit already. And what is my Wild? It's a 10, straight on the dot. 9 + 1.
Nice. So as you are poking through and trying to discern what the sort of source of this explanation was, you can hear the murmurs of people, especially from like officials who are around investigating, saying that, oh, these were broken gas lines, and them being from such old buildings exploded and caused this, this chain reaction of events. As you're looking around, you can see that is clearly bullshit. You can definitely tell that these were explosions that were placed, bombs that were placed underneath and detonated these buildings. For this sort of plan, for the sophistication of the detonations that have occurred, for the technology used, you get the sense that these are people with means. And notably the people with means in order to make this happen are vampires.
So I think upon seeing that, I know that this place is more or less owned by the Fae, and the Fae are constantly struggling to keep it under their thumb, more or less. And if vampires were either sent to blow it up by someone else, hired to blow it up, or if they did it of their own volition, regardless, the Fae are probably going to have the most vested interest in finding out what happened here. So instead of climbing through rubble for several hours, I'm going to take out my personal private cell phone, which is one of those nice rollable, like almost like a fabric phones that you can unfold. And I'm going to take a nice panoramic shot of this desolation. And I'll fold it back up and put it on the inside vest pocket, and then pull out my trash junk piece of shit phone that everyone keeps calling me on. And I'll send a message to them explaining between what and what rows were completely fucking destroyed. I'll say, request an update when able. Heading to see the queen. Send message to everybody. Because at this point, fuck it. Let's just have a group message. It's fine. And I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna head out of here and go and see if maybe the Court of Roaches has any leads or any understanding of what might have happened. And I'm gonna try and get a line on Juniper, because though Zev and Eli seemed completely unwilling to bring his desiccated corpse to me, I think that I could maybe squeeze out an answer or two from him. So I'm gonna head that way.
Yeah, certainly. As you're poking around, and after you take the panoramic shot and you're looking around, you can see that one of the people who is sort of being in charge, giving orders to people, making sure that everyone is taken care of, making sure that all of these people who were here and spotted within the neighborhood are accounted for, is in fact Queen Annika, this very pale woman with this severe asymmetrical haircut in her PVC dress, but she's instead wearing something a little bit more practical, a little bit more comfortable, and easy to work around in. And she's wearing her basically jeans and an A-frame tank top, and she catches sight of you and she pulls you over towards a dark corner, and she says, "Well, I didn't expect someone like you to be prowling around in our desolation."
And what exactly is that supposed to mean? I have a great many friends who live on Skid Row. The fact that I am here means that your world and mine have overlapped a little too much for my approval. What happened here?
And she sort of swallows those words that you throw at her, and she responds, "Well, first, it was about midday when we received a package. Juniper delivered, exsanguinated, in a box on my doorstep." And she sort of kicks at this cardboard box that's at her feet. She says, "After that, it was a couple hours later when suddenly the entire block was in flames. I was out running some errands, but the destruction here, we knew the vampires were coming for us. We knew that they had an eye on our territory, on our properties, in order to take this over with their petty schemes for money and power, but we didn't expect it in the daytime. And so suddenly the block was consumed by an explosion, collapsing our warehouse, our court, our place of power, along with all of our ancillary buildings, places where we put people up, where they stay, where they live, where we feed them. This was purposeful and targeted. We think we've got maybe some humans that they have working for them so that they can extend their reach into the daytime.
I think that at this, there's this moment where the camera kind of lingers on Hector, and his glasses are kind of gleaming in the light when like a chopper goes by looking for fires. And he says, I do not like these large messes. There is no reason to destroy so much of this city. Nothing that any of you deem to care about could merit such a reaction. He looks down at the box. Is that Juniper?
It is. When I had asked you all to bring him to me, I didn't think it would end up like this, but inside was a note. A note from Percy Brooks. Apparently the person who Juniper was indebted to. And when Percy no longer saw anything to squeeze from Juniper, he squeezed his life force from him and then delivered him to me. As she sort of raises her eyebrows and purses her lips. Clearly, message received. But I have no use for his body. I was going to take his remains to his family who live over in Venice Beach. They can do with him whatever they want, but what do you want with him?
I think Hector just leans down and opens the box, pulls the top off very gently, looks inside and sees Juniper twisted and gnarled up, all desiccated, and reaches in with his gentle, well-manicured hands and subtle rings and lifts up this dry, crusty face. And he stands with it, and it's like blocked off so that you can barely see the queen, like in the corner of the shot. And Hector's looking at this empty, dull eyes, where the eyes should be at least. And he leans in really closely to this thing. And he lets the tip of his tongue touch the bridge of Juniper's nose and licks slowly up between Juniper's eyes to the middle of his forehead. And when he pulls his face away, Juniper's face goes, there you are, Hector says. I am using mirror, mirror. When you breathe new life into the mouth of a corpse, mark corruption to animate the lifeless body. While animated, they must answer 2 questions truthfully. Any further conversation requires me to make checks, but I get 2 questions they have to answer.
What are they?
So as this thing is like, I'll say, who killed you, Juniper?
And you hear this raspy, hoary voice choke out, Percy Brooks.
And my dear, sweet Juniper, this is your last chance. Tell me what it was you were hiding from your queen.
And you see the lifeless, desiccated, dry eyes sort of lull over in Annika's direction. And you see the teeth sort of bite this dry tongue. And you hear, my shame, my betrayal. I needed the money. I didn't care for her. And the vampires promised so much. I thought I could win both sides. I thought that I could make everyone happy, but I was wrong. And as I returned to pay my debt, I saw that I owed so much more in death.
All right, so this is going to be weird. As weird, but I'm trying to use the game mechanics here. So Juniper owes me a debt because I loaned Juniper money for a scheme and realized he'd never pay it back, but I kept the debt to hold it over Juniper later. While he is technically alive, I'm going to cash in that debt and say, of all the people you knew you owed me, you think that death clears that from your ledger? I'm like shaking this desiccated corpse. I'm going to cash in my debt with Juniper to give me a debt they hold on someone else, hopefully the queen.
Okay. Yeah. I dig it. And he says, I'm sorry I couldn't be more for either of you, but I have done and seen much in the name of the Roaches. I know Annika's darkest secrets.
Can the camera pan out a little bit and just show him whispering it only to me?
Indeed. And you hear him whisper, she's not even a real fae. She's just a human. A lowly, mortal human.
I look down at dear, sweet Juniper, who I actually hated. I say, oh, dear Juniper, you can rest now. I don't think I need anything else from you. I do wish that you played the game a little smarter. Maybe, if you're lucky, maybe you'll come back again. Just remember, it is not a good idea to owe me. And I let go of the corpse, and that little flash of light that was in its eyes, keeping it active, just dims as it back into this cardboard box. I look at Queen Annika with like that razor sharpness that I've been holding on to, and I don't say anything about the secret. I hope that she knows. And instead, I just say, at least we know it was Percy Brooks.
Yeah, you can see as after letting Juniper return to whatever rest he can summon in his afterlife, and you see that Annika is sort of cuts off a brief conversation with someone and turns her gaze over her shoulder to look at you as you say, at least we know it was Percy Brooks. And she sort of bites the inside of her cheek and she says, of course it was. Who else would it be? No one else would dare move on to my territory. I'll have my blood. I'll have my pound of flesh. Eli and Zev. Y'all just passed through. We cut through. Or I should actually, let's say. So we see Viv, in this armored SUV with a few other security guards, who you can see they're mortals. They have batons, and bulletproof vests, and they escort dear Izzy and Viv to this large warehouse in central downtown LA. Uriel flying not far behind, but staying obscured away and out of the sight of these individuals. Viv, you've managed to, wrestle some corner of your mind of control to be able to leave whenever there's a stop sign, whenever there's, a light, to be able to throw out some piece of evidence, signaling the way to go. Uriel, as you're flying, the occasional feather falls from your wings in order to give a trace of where you are, allowing Eli and Zev to continue their course behind you. And you all pull up to this warehouse. Viv, you can still see, your vision practically red as you have been given these orders to bring Izzy up to the top floor of this building to make sure that she is strapped to this chair and not allowed to leave. And as you all step into this large open chamber, this room that is just dominated by this figure who sits behind a large and lavish desk. This figure who has this almost sort of triangular face that swoops back and transitions into these long horns that reach back a few feet as they wear this beautiful and immaculate, perfectly steamed pinstripe suit. You recognize this as a demon. And as after Viv receives her commands to tie Izzy to this chair, you feel Meta's control recede from your mind, but you are no sooner grasped in the hands of these guards and tied down yourself in all sorts of contraptions that are, you feel, specifically made to keep you despite your strength.
Viv sort of screams, "I'm sorry, Izzy, I'm sorry." And I'm not saying that it's because they're manhandling my perfect skin. I said, don't breathe in my face. God, I could taste your breakfast.
Oh, it's the worst. It's like microwave fish right in your face. It's terrible.
Oh no.
And they lash you down, and this demon, sits on the edge of his desk, shoulders or arms crossed, shoulders square to you all, and strides over confidently to you two and says, Well. You two.
Well.
Messing around in business that you shouldn't be messing around in. Did you think you were clever? Did you think you were onto something? I've read your little blog. He looks at
Okay,
Izzy.
first of all, not little. It has a huge following, so no need to be rude.
But thank you for the hits. I know Izzy loves them.
He has this deep, throaty chuckle that just sort of shakes his whole body. He goes, Well, not little. That is quite in fact why you've captured our attention. Tell
Yeah,
me.
Viv is really good at capturing attention. Look at her. She's like a star onto herself.
Unfortunately, not enough attention, and that's why dear Meta has decided to do away with her. To have her go off the way the rest of her sisters.
I knew it. I knew you were putting them into those wax cylinder pieces of shit. Not the songs on them. Specifically, the songs were very good. But just the items that you make here specifically.
And he sort of chuckles and he snaps a finger and a display of an Instagram feed comes up on one of the walls. And you see it starts scrolling through. And you now see these people who have been listening to these wax cylinders and are suddenly overcome with this almost religious zealor. As if, and they, start speaking in what we would call speaking in tongues and overcome with these sort of fanatical devotion as if they have seen visions from God. And the videos of you two stumbling out of bars, looking drunk, smashing these things as he continues scrolling through this feed on Instagram, showing both your uncomely display of behavior and these people who just cannot get enough of these cylinders, who are hoarding them, who are listening to them, who are breaking them open, who are breaking them open and then eating the wax, trying to ingest the deeper images.
Oh, those poor people. Why do you want this? Isn't it enough that you know exactly where everyone is at every moment of their lives? You have targeted advertising in their dreams, the sky, toilet paper. Like, what else do you want?
I want devotion. Muriel, at this point, you're able to land on top of this building knowing that somewhere within Izzy and Viv are within. You had seen Viv manhandle Izzy and bring her inside the building, seeming clearly not friendly, but also something odd about the interaction. Like, Viv wasn't completely herself. Like, every moment was jerking, as if she was fighting something from within her.
I have to be honest. Of all the ones that I've met, Viv is the one that confuses me the most. And I think with that, he's just gonna kind of walk in and immediately call out, Viv? Is he?
Over here!
Oh, okay.
You're able to
In the
navigate down these
spotlight,
long
of
corridors.
course, Uriel. Oh, sorry.
You hear
Sorry, what were you
Viv.
saying?
Yeah, you hear Viv calling out, and you're able, Uriel, with your amazing, angelic, divine hearing, you're able to follow Viv's voice. And greeting you out front, of course, is a security detail of about a dozen guards. You see two of them with pistols, the other all armed with batons. And they so kindly lead you into this room where you see that Viv and Izzy are
very nice.
captured and contained.
Oh, that's less nice.
Uriel, you should show this thing here a thing or two about devotion.
Uriel,
Wait.
you see this demon who you recognize as none other than a prince of hell, Belphegor.
Oh! I Belphegor, good to see you. Not really. You have my friends. I would see to their release.
Isn't that nice? Well, as the demon of dispute, I'll have to say no. And he snaps his finger again, and Viv, you feel that creeping just interference from Meta just reaching at the edges of your consciousness. Go ahead and roll a spirit for me to be able to wrestle control back.
I got it right. Oh, Belphegor, this fucking guy.
This asshole, I can't even believe him.
I got a 7 again.
Ooh, nice. So I'll give you as you've had a little bit more practice, you've got 5 minutes of pure control before you feel it's gonna take over.
Yeah. She is gonna call out to Uriel. Uriel, you may have to take me out if something happens. They're trying to control me.
I am well aware of Belphegor's tendencies, and while you have the capacity to hear my words, I need you to hear them and hear them well. You, while I'm not exactly certain what you are, I am certain of who you are. You are an artist. You bring creation into the world. That is why creatures like this target you. That is the gift that our Lord has given to his creation, the ability to create. You can fight, and I will not see you destroyed today.
Thank you, Uriel, but please, there's so much to say, but just, if you have to, just not the face.
I I don't understand. Yeah, of course. I will not. If I have to destroy you, which I fully intend not to do, by the way, I will make sure that it is not in the face.
Help Izzy. Izzy's the one to save.
Well, you both are in a position that seem to
Mhm.
require some amount of saving.
Also,
I-
Viv, we're not just gonna leave you here. Like, we're gonna figure out how to fix this.
I'm certain that the demon's influence will be destroyed once I send it back to hell. The problem is,
Ooh,
well, I'm
can we go too? I've never played there.
you do not want to go to it's not, it's truly an awful place. And the issue is I am more than capable of dropping a pillar of divine fire onto this entire establishment. That's not who I am I don't know how I'm supposed to. If I could have a moment to pray.
Uriel, have you gone soft? Oh, the chosen angel of Raft isn't ready to do the dirty work anymore. How
I am no longer
delightful.
the angel of wrath.
Oh, got a demotion, did we?
I try to like distract Balfagor from harassing
Yeah,
Uriel?
mislead, distractor trick, for sure.
Yeah, I want to do that by also giving him a false prophecy, because now I just want to give everyone false prophecies. His false prophecy is, as soon as the world turns to winter, two friends shall cause an age of war and the rise of a new evil. Because I learned today that fantasynamegenerators.com has a prophecy generator.
That's
So-
amazing. I love that website. I'm going to remember this forever.
Just pulling out Netflix show descriptions for you.
Pretty much, yeah. So that I want to do that to try to mislead, I guess. So I will also roll for that.
Yes, roll with mind.
Oh, well, that's no good. But on the other hand, I also have enough corruption to now have a corruption move.
True. Ooh.
So even though I can't exactly distract him that way, what I'm going to do instead is curse him. I'm going to pronounce a curse on Balfagor.
Sick. See, as you utter this prophecy, he sort of waves a hand off at you, like, just, like, your powers of mortality and a prophecy have no providence over me.
And when this is done, I am going to attempt to persuade an NPC.
Very well. Levy your curse, dear Oracle.
So my one thing with I got an effect of the curse, which is I'm going to choose the effects of the curse are potent and obvious. And I guess I'm going to say that the curse is whatever can go wrong for him will. Starting now. Nothing is going to go right for Balfagor.
Neat. All right.
Insane grimaces.
Okay.
All right, and so I'm using my Halo move, which says when you persuade an NPC by offering a chance for redemption, roll with spirit instead of mine.
Okay.
So Uriel is going to say, I think that the Lord is trying to teach me that you can be more than what you were created to be. I am meant to guard those that create on this world. In so doing, I have seen the power of mercy and patience and creation. And while it is my every instinct to send you to hell screaming, I will instead extend a hand to you, brother. And this is my persuade. Yeah. Okay, that's 8 plus spirit, which is 8, 9, 10. Please, if we are to settle this, let us settle this as family and leave my friends alone.
And after hearing the words of a curse scrawl across him, a false prophecy, and now the offering of a hand from a brother. And he takes a long, long moment to parse this out and to think it over. And with his crossed arms, he strides across the room to Uriel, and eventually he drops them. And he extends a hand for a handshake.
Uriel will also extend the hand, and if you want to have him like really just mess my stuff up, go for it.
We cut to Eli and Zev having just passed through this wall and hearing these booted footsteps running and the cocking of guns. What are you all doing?
I'm ready for this one. Okay. So as we briefly discussed offline, Zev's glamour is dwindling. So that being said, Zev's spine stiffens and crackles, morphs and forms in an attempt to resemble an officer. Zev's body turns before her face does. Her power is dwindling, but as she does, her face begins to melt. Her eyeball dangles as she smiles over at the officer, trying to charm him in her typical way with a toothy grin, but her lips too begin to drift. Her voice too drifts far too low for anybody's comfort. Her nose slips past her chin, but she tries not to draw attention to it in hopes that if the officer isn't fooled, at least he is utterly horrified. She feels only slightly weak, but to the officer, she is made of nightmares. She is nightmare fuel right now. Hello, fellow guards.
And as you see from both sides of this long hallway filing in, you see these, blue donned security guards, all with these bulletproof vests, all wielding batons in their hands, minus the two in the back with pistols armed and ready, poised to shoot. And you see the one in the front as there's almost this domino effect as horror cascades across these two lines of individuals as they take in the sight of Zev melting before their very eyes as almost like a peep that's been put in the microwave for too long. And Eli looking rather, I don't know, what does Eli look like in this moment?
Eli is stepped behind, heard the commotion, and sort of drew back to like tuck around the corner. And so I like to the camera looks from Eli's perspective, and it's just the back of Zev. Like there's this like shape, they've obviously shape shifted to some extent, but Eli is not seeing the nightmare mess that's happening here. So he's just kind of crouched back there looking like, are they going to buy this? Is this, I don't know. So sort of blissfully unaware of the vision that's being displayed.
Indeed, and as they take the side of you two in, and you see you hear the first guard say, What in the name of God in heaven and all on this earth has happened to you? Who did you bring with you? Who are you? As they call out to Zev.
It's me, Phoenix. I just got a little bit of too much sun.
You got that lie there, Mark, that corruption. They say, "Did he do this to you?"
Do what? Just trying to keep it up. Oh yeah. It did me in real bad. I need a little bit of help here though.
They say, "We have two." Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
And you hear another one call it from the line. "We have two more captured. Belphegor is dealing with the angel now." And the two of you, Eli and Zev, you see the guards flank around to surround you. And Eli, they immediately begin to descend on you with, handcuffs immediately drawn and going for your wrists.
Oh, yeah, that's not going to happen. Or let's hope that doesn't happen. So Eli is going to reach into his bag of tricks, basically, as they started to surround them and everything, and is going to draw out an egg that's got all of these little glyphs and symbols painted onto it, like a runic Easter egg almost. Mm-hmm. And then sort of backs up to Zev and says, "Hold your breath real quick and close your eyes." And then he's gonna ninja smoke bomb, except it's Ozark's obfuscating, irritating smoke bomb.
Zev
All
looks
right.
for her nose.
And oh, and then it's at that point that he actually turns around for the first time and sees that happening, and is like, "Oh God, okay, yeah, we gotta go." And I would like to let it out, I guess, to try and escape, or would it be escape a situation? I'm trying to let it out to help escape a situation.
I would say escape a situation, since that's your ultimate goal.
Okay. Oh, that's much worse. Okay. Eight -2 because Eli is not a strong boy, and that's a 6. So,
Zev, would you like to lend a hand in this endeavor?
Yes. For escape. Okay.
Escape.
Okay. Escape is.
So, roll with mortality. Zev, roll with mortality in order to lend Eli a hand.
Okay. We'll go 6, 7, 8 plus 1 mortality, so that's 9.
Nice. Yeah, so you definitely successfully lend a hand. So what is it? So as Eli throws this down and smoke begins to pour from this egg that's now cracked and broken on the floor, how is it that you help Eli out so that you all could get the hell out of this situation?
I will take one really limp arm and wrap it around him a couple times and slowly scrape him across the floor with the quickness that she still has. Her feet are in good standing, but her arms, however, are like hot dog finger noodles.
Okay, so with this pool noodle arm wrapped around you, Eli, a couple times, you can feel Zev trying to successfully pull you out of the way of the situation, and you all are able to book it. Where is it that you are trying to go? Are you trying to get out of the building? Are you trying to get up to the roof? Are you trying to find Zev and Izzy? What's your goal in escaping this immediate group of guards?
We're still after finding Zev and Izzy. Yeah. So it would be, I guess, moving past where they came from, now that they're sort of in this intersection now. Yeah, and just bolting down one of the hallways further into the interior of this place, hopefully getting lost in the liminal, like, blank hallways.
We're coming for you, baby.
As you all are managed to escape, as this cloud of gray, acrid smoke begins to pour over them, and you hear them, all of these security guards, coughing and cackling and trying to get out of it, wiping out their eyes. and scratching at their skin as this obfuscating, irritating smoke has obfuscated them. And you all are tearing down the hallways, and you all hear Uriel's voice ringing loud and clear down one of these hallways, and you hear this other deep, sinister voice echoing down these halls, and you tear a left down one of these hallways, and you can see that there is this open door where you can vaguely see light pouring out of this otherwise dark room. You all tear in, and you see Viv and Izzy tied to chairs, and you see Uriel clasped hand in hand with a demon. What do you do?
Hey, we found. Oh.
That's new. That's new.
Hey, who's this guy? Are you guys okay?
You guys are safe. Well, you're strapped down. What is this, and who is that?
It's not what it looks like. It's not a good time.
This also isn't what it looks like. I mean, I know what it might look like, but it's not that.
Welcome, you hear, as the door slams shut behind you after running in locks and bars, and you see this wicked smile crackle across this demon's face as he looks at you, Uriel, with lightning in his eyes, and he says, "Oh, we can leave your friends out of it, but you'll not be leaving here alive."
Well, if it comes down to just a challenge of you and me without me needing to be concerned with my friend, then I am very certain that I will be the one leaving here alive. And I think at that the wings just unfurl.
We can't leave
Beautiful.
without our angel chicken. We can't leave without our angel chicken.
And with this gesture of his hands, as he throws out these balls of fire, and Izzy and Viv and Eli and Zev, you all feel these hot flashes of flame lash across you, blinding you for a moment. And just as you reel back from this, just subconsciously, from the force of it, from the pure heat that is thrown at you, and you open your eyes again, you're in Joseph's house. You're outside. You don't see Uriel or this demon. You've been transported away? Uriel, you immediately see this flaming fist coming for your face, cocked with hellfire, ready to slap. And you feel this immediate crunching of the bones of your cheeks as you feel this impact, and you hear, "Well, brother, let us settle this finally."
Forgive me, Father, for I know that wrath is yours, but I am in need of borrowing it at the moment. I would like to use one of my corruption moves that I've been holding on to for this entire time.
Hell yeah, what is it? Let's see it.
Okay, it is called, I have to scroll to the page. It is called Burn the World. It's when you unleash on a sinner, mark corruption to choose 2 in addition to your other choices. And the choices are your attack inflicts +2 harm, your attack has a plus area, or your attack inflicts S harm, which is sustained damage. So I am going to unleash to do harm on him.
Heck yeah.
And I am going to do because I know that he's got goons in here too. I'm going to do sustained harm, so they keep taking harm until they take an action to stop it, and plus area. So I'm doing an entire area, so the area that the scene is taking place in. I am once again dropping a pillar of flames. Here we go. That is a 6 plus 8.
Yeah. Oh boy, that'll definitely hit. That'll do it.
And like just after I get punched, he's just gonna look at him and he goes, "Hellfire's meant to punish sinners. Let me show you what the fires from heaven do."
Oh boy, yeah. And as these bright white, just auras of holiness and divinity just lick across this unhallowed room and across this demon's face, and you feel almost this chorus, but like singing with power behind you as you unleash this wrath onto this area, and you hear him call back, just, "I will not be bested." And you see, just amongst the sea of white, suddenly as he begins to take the light and shift it back into the darkness, and as he just throws this blast of desiccation at you, and you hear suddenly these footsteps come pounding in the room behind you, and he says, "Fire!" And Uriel, I'll have you go ahead and roll with body for me.
Ooh,
Or with blood,
all right,
I should say.
Oh, blood. Yes, let's do it. First off, what is my blood? My blood is 2. Yeah, that is 7, 8, 9.
Ooh, nice. And so, and as you feel, as you have brought up this like ring of holiness and this column of wrath, and what does it look like as you stop these bullets in their tracks, these demonic bullets from hitting you?
I think as soon as he says fire, like the wings are gonna come over and cover up Uriel, so they're just hitting wing.
And as they strike the outset of your wings, you just hear this perfect ding of like all of this subtle chime, and they just drop onto the ground. For Izzy and Viv and Zev and Eli, you all have been immediately transported. What are you doing now?
All right, what was the name of the demon? Balfagor?
Balfagor.
Barfagor.
All right. I need to go look some things up. Yeah, Barfagor for sure. That's good. I'm gonna add that in the margins. It's a nice addendum. Yeah, no, I'm gonna go look that motherfucker up in a book.
All right, so
Viv goes, will you be long? And are we still attached to chairs, by the way?
you are not. You're free.
Oh, okay.
Chairs appeared to have been left.
I don't know how long it's gonna take. I know where the book is, but yeah.
Viv, should go to a safe house and start looking into how we can disconnect you from whatever this thing is that's controlling you.
Meta. I don't know how you could forget. They're literally everywhere, but no. Yes. Yes, that's a wonderful idea.
Meta, right? Yes. My brain is still working. Yes. Let's go somewhere relatively safe. And we're gonna hit the internet streets and we're gonna figure this out and get you disconnected from Meta so that you can live your life.
Thank you, friend. I'm sorry about earlier. Is your wrist bruised? I couldn't control myself.
Oh, I know. I don't blame you for that. That's why I didn't want to fight back.
Thank you. You know who has a very safe house?
The person whose divination tools we need to return and who now owes us for that?
Yes, that too. I was also going to say Hector.
Oh, that's true. Also,
What?
Hector...
we may owe Hector an apology or 8, so it's
I'm
more
not
of
going
like
to apologize for being kidnapped, first of all.
You know what I mean.
I will text him real quick.
Okay, I was going to say,
You know, we may actually need to handle this bookkeeping since you brought it up. Jen. Jess was coming so that I would owe her a favor, but Viv was coming because I cashed in a debt, and
Right,
you
yes.
did not live up to expectations.
I was
Yes,
also
and
going to
that is-
say at this moment now, both Viv and Eli, since they have no intentions of honoring the debts that Hector called to them, need to roll to refuse a debt.
Ooh, well, I mean, again, I was trying to go to the house to try to mitigate, but yes, I'll roll some bullshit.
While that's going on, Izzy just sends a quick text to Hector that's like, missed party, got kidnapped, say like alive now with Viv.
Sam was also kidnapped. Don't lie.
Yeah, like Viv and I were kidnapped. Better now. Sorry, Mr. Party.
And I found you. Well, Eli and I found you.
Zem and Eli found us.
Make a longer text.
Yeah, it's a really like confusing text.
It's a lot of
Because
One,
ellipses.
like, add this
one
other
paragraph, Izzy. Don't be a double texter or a triple texter.
It
Just
is like
long
one really,
paragraph.
really long text, but each line is just like another 2 words. It's like was kidnapped, enter. With event, enter.
Purely stream of consciousness. Just
Please tell me there are
yeah,
emojis.
bullet
Jen feels
points.
so bad for
Shrug.
for Hector because the phone screen is not going to be able to. It's going to.
Yeah, I have
My-
to scroll down so many times with those shitty burner buttons.
My virtual assistant will read it to me. We're in 2050. It's fine.
Either way, you failed
yes, you
to
wanna-
honor a debt, so I'm going to need both of you to roll with heart.
I got a 6. We've got a 6.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Well, and Eli?
Eli is gonna head back to his storage facility.
Yeah, but Hector still has you on the hook for investigating the vase of San Domingo de la Rocha, which you have made no moves to do. So are you going to refuse to honor that, or where is that looking like?
No, I can do research on that at the same time as I'm researching Barfagor.
Okay. So on the 6, Jen, I get to pick 2. On a miss, you can't avoid the noose. You either honor the debt or face the consequences. Since the gala's over, I have to pick 2 from the list above, or force you to lose all debts owed to me. You don't have any, so I'm going to make you owe me an additional debt and
Excellent.
lose face with the power faction. All of my friends that were wizards and immortals at this gala were like, we came to see her perform, and now she's not here. My deepest apologies.
I hope they dried their tears with their little sleeves, big sleeves. Is it actually lose 1 point to power? Now that
I
that.
don't know that it adjusts the number, but
Oh,
I'm
okay,
not
okay.
sure.
Yeah, it
I'll
doesn't
look it
adjust
up
the
and let you know.
number, but it
Okay.
basically that anytime you interface with anyone from the power faction, they're gonna have a negative
God.
impression of you right off the bat. So you're gonna have to work harder to either win them over or work around that somehow.
God, I'm gonna have to reinvent myself. Start singing, I don't know, country or something. It's the only way to get rid of those wizards.
I do think it's just so beautiful that I had this moment where I dragged Juniper back from hell to be like, you owed me, and now you owe me 3 debts total.
Never gonna-
I love the idea that like there's like this bookkeeping in on the other side of it. It's just Uriel like, oh, I'm gonna kill you with this demon. Like,
I think of it as content for the album, like the next album that we'll have.
I'm sure Hector and Viv have already come up with something where, I don't know, Hector, if you would want songs to be written about you or not specifically. All right, cool.
Sorry,
And so does.
just sorry. Hector will reply to Izzy's text, basically be like, "I'm glad you're okay. I get the impression you probably need somewhere to stay. I have a house near you. Here's the address. I'll meet you there. If you need anything else, let me know. Is Viv alive? Question mark. Did Viv take her tincture? Question mark.
Viv alive, no tincture.
Yes. No, I did not. Yes, clearly. Ask if the house is also a debt. I just want to know, is it a fourth debt? Or
House
is
debt?
this
Nah, not today. It's been a busy day. Tincture, I'll bring with. See you in 15.
I mean, I don't know how far we are from your house, but this
can
is
get
not going
anywhere
to
in
text all of
15
that.
minutes.
Like,
Yeah.
hey.
We better scoot boot then.
It's late enough at
yeah.
night where there's no traffic that you have to worry about.
Thank you, Izzy, for texting.
I mean, it was, yeah. I probably shouldn't have been the one to do that because that was probably mostly nonsense. I'm honestly amazed Hector understood it.
Barely discernible. All right, so
Yeah, let's go to the safe house.
nice. So yeah, the lot of you can do your research. Eli, as you're investigating, how is it that you're investigating Balfagor and the vase? Are you calling people, or are you doing internet research? Like, what does that look like?
Oh no! This is what the giant old tomes are for, especially when researching demons. Definitely goes down to one of the subterranean lockers. And as soon as the roller door goes up, the scent of aged leather and wood pulp just spills out into the hallway. And he goes in and rolls it down. And Eli does appreciate ambiance, so he lights a couple oil lamps on a simple old style reading desk, and then goes over and pulls down one of this giant tome that says Demonomicon or something across the spine. It lands on the desk with a thud, and it seems almost like the thin legs buckle for a moment beneath its weight. And he just flips it open and begins flipping through pages. And then, in a nod to his actual setting and sense of self, he pulls out his phone and puts on Sublime as some studying music. And then begins to like flip through the pages.
I don't practice Santeria. I ain't got no crystal ball.
And so that's how he begins researching Balfagor.
Beautiful. So as you're flipping through, you've got Sublime on the background, candles lit, and reading about Balfagor, you know that he is one of these princes of hell. He is the demon of dispute. He is set opposite of the sixth Sephiroth, who is the angel of beauty. And because it is of this juxtaposition, because of this constant dispute, that Balfagor is positioned as the demon of invention. So he loves to plant ideas for invention into the minds of creatives. People who are lazy, who want to seek the easy way, who want a quick payout, a quick buck, looking to make that quick flip over of transaction. And he loves to take advantage of those people. Those people in desperate situations who want to turn a quick dollar. People who they want to get their name in lights, want name and recognition, but don't want to do the hard work to get it. Those are the kinds of creatives that he preys on. And so it makes sense with these wax cylinders that he was able to prey upon these engineers on this corporation for the corporation's desire to turn a quick dollar, to get these people entranced with this wax cylinder device. And so, yeah, you're able to definitely read up on this very well-known demon who loves to take a number of forms as well.
Mm-hmm. I would like to use one of my scholar features, which is your private collection.
Hell yeah.
When you retreat to your private collection to research an occult occurrence, object, or individual, I get to roll with mind. And let's hope I roll really well, because then I get to find out some more stuff.
Neat.
That is 6, 7, 8. On a 7 to 9, pick one. You discover a previously unknown weakness or vulnerability. You discover a previously unknown resource or ally. You don't attract any supernatural attention to yourself. I would like to discover a previously unknown weakness or vulnerability of Falfagor.
So you know that Balfagor is sitting opposite of this angel whose domain is beauty. You know that you're able to uncover that one of Balfagor's sort of long covered and hidden weaknesses is that he cannot stand portraits of himself. It causes him physical and psychological pain to see depictions of him in any of his known visages in his area.
Oh yeah, that'll be easy to take advantage of. Yeah, we're gonna make him take a lot of selfies. And he makes a note in his phone. Selfies, projector, rig to camera. Okay, yeah.
I wish to God I could tell you what the next move in the fight was gonna be, because this is perfect.
Yes.
Cut to Uriel. You have just staved off a barrage of bullets coming your way, seeking to rip apart angel flesh. What are you doing?
I'm going to look at Barfagor. Nice. And I'm going to tell him the reason that you'll never win is because you are fighting on your own, and I am fighting in the name of something greater. And I would like to use the move Messenger. In the face of impending violence, ask your lord to speak through you and roll plus spirit. On a hit, your lord offers something useful and interesting to the problem at hand. On a 10 plus, the instructions are clear and cogent. On a 7 to 9, they are mired in symbology and sacrifice. On a miss, your lord has nothing to offer but judgment. Heal 2 harm and gain 1 armor if you act
Whoa.
as his agent.
Nice.
So, even if I miss, things still go okay.
Heck yeah.
But here we go. Oh boy. 6 and its spirit, which is 2, 7, 8. So that means that it's mired in symbology and sacrifice.
And so, yeah, as you try and call forth and bring upon this wrath, the full force of the heavens behind you, and you get this message. The devil Balfagor will fall only to himself.
Okay. I don't understand, my lord, but I accept. Balfagor, you
Brother.
cannot win. The Lord has told me that you will be your own undoing.
Aren't we all? That's what makes humans so delightful, is that I barely have to pull any strings.
Why would you want to take advantage of a creature so beautiful and so full of the capacity for wonder? Why would you corrupt that? Why would you spoil that?
It's not corruption if it's what already lies within. It has both capacity for good and for ill. I make use of the polar opposite. For they need to know contrast in order to know what other wonders and treasures they hold. For if they only know good, brother, would they not know
This
anything
world
at
has
all?
this world has enough tribulation for them. You need not add more. Have you listened to their prayers?
Their prayers are meaningless and self-centered and desperate. I answer their prayers as he brings a fist in an uppercut.
I, I, I think there's like take a blow or so. No, I'm thinking of a different game. I was gonna do
You're
like,
thinking of masks.
I'm like,
Keep your
Uriel,
cool is usually used to avoid harm.
yes,
Yes.
I will go ahead and see if I'm taking these or if I'm getting rocked. All right, here we go. Oh yeah, if I miss I completely lose my cool. And you know what? I'm translating that as I'm going full wrath again.
Hell yeah.
Okay. And then this is what, blood? 8, 9, 10. So I'm doing okay.
Implacable
I'm-
Uriel over here.
I'm getting beat up, but it's all right. Listen, I watch over artists in LA. I've seen a beating. Uh
Seen some shit.
I am going to try and unleash on him one more time. And I'm gonna burn the world again because, like, I listen, God, I don't know what that means. So I'm I'm gonna I'm gonna set him on fire.
Sometimes you gotta set a bitch on fire.
Oh no, I don't think God like that. Um, that is a 6 total.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, that's not awesome. What happens when I miss with this move again? Um,
Tell me.
I'm pretty sure it's not something great.
I bet.
Let me see. Okay, so oh, okay. I just think there is nothing for if I miss.
I think what happened here is you burned your corruption. So you mark corruption when you use a corruption move.
Mhm.
You missed. That means that Sage gets to hit you back with this fucking demon.
Yeah, so like it is a corruption move, so and I missed. So I just gained another point of corruption here, which is not great.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like Miracle where things get really messy if I miss. So let me go ahead and see what happens when you fail on unleashing.
So I
So
believe
sorry, everybody.
you're good. I believe I get to
Yeah,
use
you
my
get
I get to use my MC moves on you.
when you unleash an attack on somebody, roll with blood on a hit. You inflict harm as established and choose one. So they get to inflict harm on me, or I find myself in a bad spot. Yeah, that's what you get to choose to do to me right now.
So
Uh-oh.
you call upon this holy fire to rain down upon this area again to be able to try and banish Balfagor back to the hell that he came from, to redeem all of the souls that he has claimed in his quest for corruption. And it's just not quite there. You're not sure if it's the Lord pulling back his love and his wrath from you. There's just this confluence of symbols that scroll across your mind. You just feel this sort of blockage, this impasse that you come to, and you cannot summon the fire that you had always been able to faithfully summon in order to do right by the Lord. And as you go to levy this down, Balfagor, takes your wrist and stops it mid-blow. And you feel the power begin to seep from your arm, seep from your body as he absorbs it into himself. And you see he is imbued. And he says, Uriel, I am a fallen angel. Never forget that. And I shall turn this wrath upon your own creations, upon your wards. And you hear... Go ahead.
Yeah, besides the screaming as the divinity is kind of drained from his arm, I think Uriel's just going to say, I have no creations.
Indeed. You don't have any creations. And you hear this cold snap. In a cold and lifeless void. And you find yourselves in this lovely beach house, perched on a promontory overlooking Zuma Beach. And you see Hector there, looking confused to see Uriel and this demon suddenly summoned in his living room. And that's where we're gonna end this evening.
Oh no!
What the fuck?
Poor Hector. This is like the 10th time Uriel's just popped up in his place.
Oh boy. This has been a wonderful, good time. But before we sign up for this evening, we're going to do our session end moves, where for each of you, you're going to tell me whether you learned something meaningful about a faction. And if you did feel like your character learned something cool or interesting, or really sort of developed their knowledge about a faction, you get to add a +1 to that faction. But at the cost of learning something cool about that faction, you've had to do a little bit less face time with another faction, so you'll take a -1 to another faction. So we'll go in our intro order, and we'll start with you, Becca. Has Zev learned anything cool about any of the factions tonight? And it is also totally okay to say no, you haven't learned anything that anything new or interesting.
Yeah, she learns her power runs out when she uses up too much juice, so that backfired. And she learned about, demons are real.
Very
There's
real.
that.
So definitely wild. You've learned quite a bit about yourself and others in the wild faction.
Mm-hmm. And then, yeah.
So which faction are you going to take a -1 to?
Probably power. Lessons learned today.
Beautiful. JB, has Hector learned anything?
Well, this is a tough one. I'm believing that I'm picking up more about night. I'm going to increase that one by 1. And mortality has not been playing very well for me. The mortals that I've trusted to do stuff for me have been kind of falling through. And the gala, I mingled more with power brokers than anything else. So I'm going to reduce my mortality down to 0, and my night goes up to 2.
And Jen, has Viv learned anything?
Well, when she failed to take her tinctures, as she knew though, Meta would start to take control of her body again. So nothing learned necessarily there, but she did learn that demons have amazing fashion sense, and that is not something she didn't know that hell was updated. So yeah, she's gonna go up
in power for sure.
In power, and probably down in mortality because of the amount of influence that Meta has had on her. It sort of leaves her with brain fog.
And Jess.
I feel like Izzy learned a lot about demons and also about how what is it called? Viv, what's your character type?
Vessel.
A vessel. Mhm.
And about how like vessels work and how their like meta is controlling them.
Definitely up in power.
Yeah. And then I think hasn't really had anything to do with mortality in a while, I think. So maybe that one minus.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And more.
I think, yeah, well, especially with Voldemort showing up, it's got to be wild. It's got to be wild that he's learning about it, and plus, again, there's that relationship with the Lord that seems to be tenuous. Again,
Skating on thin ice.
yeah, oh, only he can defeat himself. Well, you know, fire defeats things. But and I think it's gonna come. He's like not even thinking about vampires right now, so it's gonna come at the cost of night.
Makes sense.
He is. It's been a couple of episodes, but they are officially no longer Scorny. It's over. The Scorny run has ended.
And Paul. Oh, I'm sorry, Becca. Did I skip you, Becca?
No, I went with
Okay,
factions.
I did had a complete mind blank. Paul.
So Eli did do some research about Balfagor and could conceivably like move his power faction up. Demons would fall under power, right?
Wild.
Since
So-
angels are wild, I just figured they'd be under wild.
Oh, they would be under wild.
Demons are under wild, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
They're also
okay.
called tainted as a player characters.
Okay. So, but it's so specific. It wasn't really
It's like a
about
whole.
the faction as a whole. It was just about one particular one. So I think I'm actually just going to leave his faction ratings where they are.
Very cool. Well, indeed. So these have been our session end moves, and this is our session. We'll be back in 2 weeks with session 7 out of... We have 2 more episodes left in this series. And so we will be back in 2 weeks on August 31st at 6:30 p.m. PST. Catch us here then. And yeah, with that, we'll go ahead and do our outros. And if y'all have anything new or fun or anything else to plug, go ahead and do it. For me, personally, I will be on a stream tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. PST doing a live react stream with Alan of Mental Misplay for Wizards of the Coast is doing their big unveiling for the next year of new products for D&D and Magic the Gathering. So my friend Alan of Mental Misplay and I will be doing a live react to all of their product reveals that they'll be doing. So you can catch us tomorrow, a nice little coffee stream in the morning. And yeah, that's me. And then next week on Wednesday at 6 p.m. PST, we'll be here with the favorite campaign with our episode 26 that we will be unveiling next week at 6 p.m. PST. But that's me. I have been Sage, your storyteller this evening.
Boy, howdy. It's Becca, your favorite Zev chaotic fairy. So this Saturday and Sunday, I'm hosting, creating, and organizing the second Latinos in Tech Hackathon. It is Seattle's only Latinos in Tech Hackathon. You can still register at the link that will be provided here very shortly. And if you were trying to go to the Nepantla Block Writer Party to see my art, that's too bad because it's sold, but it's still happening on the 27th. And Nepantla, I believe that is in south of Seattle. And yeah, you can catch me at Latina Scribbles or Mouse Cat Studios on Instagram. Thanks, everyone.
Hi, everybody. I'm JB, and tonight I was playing Hector Curio, your immortal power broker. For the most part, I really just want you to follow me on Twitter. I post all of my links there whenever I'm going live with various shows, whenever I'm doing tabletop stuff, and in the coming months, I'm going to be releasing some actual tabletops that I wrote, and I would like for you to play them and tell me if you like them. And that can only happen if you follow me on Twitter. So go over to Drop the Die on Twitter and give me a follow.
Hey, my name is Jen Vaughn, and I have been Viv Idly, your favorite vessel. And I'm sorry if I am fading, because I am busy kicking COVID's ass. Keep wearing your mask. Don't go on germ tubes known as planes. But you can find me on Twitter at @thegenya, where I too post most of my links, comics I make. I am on a podcast with Jess called D20 Dames, and our new family-friendly series Wanderleaf is out, and we don't have a lot of episodes out yet, so it's easy to catch up. And if you're into Studio Ghibli type fun, Paul and I are also in one called Poison of Prophecy. You can find over at the Crodex. Otherwise, you can find me in my bed or working as the new senior game designer at Studio Black Flag, which is why I have moved to France.
I'm Jess. I was playing Izzy, the Oracle. D20 Games, like Jen said. And also, we're going to be doing a stream on the last Sunday of the month. We're going to have one of the writers from Radiant Citadel come DM us through an adventure. And speaking of Radiant Citadel, some of the stuff that I've worked on lately, this one, and also this one, Scarred Lands, Dead Man's Rest. Pick up these books and find all my other stuff on my website, rightjust.com. I also have COVID, and I am not kicking its ass, so forgive my whole deal here. I'm going to go sleep for 5 years.
We love you both.
Thank you for gaming with us. We love you.
I think that makes it my turn. Hello, everybody. I'm Noir. You can find me all over the internet as the Noir Enigma. That's Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Tomorrow, I'll be running a charity stream that we have lovingly called Baldur's Gate, where we're playing Baldur's Gate for the Know Your Rights campaign. So that more people can be informed of their rights, so that we can better defend them, because there is an all-out assault on our freedoms. So please check that out. On Friday, you can find me over on Gen Con TV, where I host table takes, and then on Saturday morning, you can find me over on Critical Misses for our morning show, Morning Ritual. I do not know the guests because my brain is made out of potatoes and they're loaded and mashed. So I am going to pass it on over.
That is so good. Loaded and mashed. Thank you for that, Noir. I am Paul Harpring. I have been Eli, your SoCal scholar. I can be found on Twitter at Paul_Harpring, where I've been following a lot of artists on Twitter recently. So I've just been reposting a lot of cool, sweet art from different folks. You can find me on Instagram at Paul's Plastic Peeps, where I put pictures of all the tiny plastic people that I enjoy painting, mostly Games Workshop style stuff, but also some other rando one-off minis and so forth. Yeah. And Jen already mentioned the Crodex, and our Ritama stream. So now's a good time to catch that up, because we're actually sort of on our little season break right now. So go and check that stuff out. It's delightfully weird.
Hell yeah, all these people are super talented. If you can, go and throw them $1 on Ko-fi or on Patreon, or all these cool people. Support all of your local artists, all your local streamers and podcasters. And so we're going to go ahead and go throw a raid over to our good friends Woodland Deckhouse, a good couple of friends of mine, Sean and Jeremy, who play Magic the Gathering. So we'll go and raid them. Everyone have a good night, and be well, be safe, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
2 episodes left. Bye.
Good night.